Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are all doing well. Let me start the stream on the other channels as well. Just give me 1 second. See if it works this time. Last time we had a few technical issues, and it should be all good now. Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend so far. And welcome to my stream. Let me just sort this out here. Slight complication. It's always a bit of a challenge when you do it all by yourself. There's multiple things to handle and multiple windows. I think I need to kind of create another setup. But okay, I hope you guys are well. What are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about vitamin C. It's quite a hot topic, in particular, like with spring coming, and I don't know how it's like on your side, but it's absolutely crazy here. Like it's been non-stop raining last few days, and it's been quite wet over here, so it's been pretty flooded. And but today is the sunshine, so it's quite a diversity going on here. 1 minute it's raining, 1 minute it's sunshine, so it's a bit crazy out there, the weather. So I hope you guys are well. But let's talk about vitamin C, which is the bright star in the beauty industry, and everyone loves it. So when I say vitamin C, it's really the L-ascorbic acid of the vitamin Cs, which we are also using in our antioxidants defense booster, this little fella here, and we're using it at a quite high percentage, so you can actually mix it freshly with the Everyday Glow Serum and you get a nice strength. But why am I saying like it's the bright star in the beauty industry? Because this is predominantly what L-ascorbic is known for, to kind of brighten up your complexion. And actually, L-ascorbic acid has quite a lot of benefits. It's sort of like various other benefits, but no one really talks about it. It's really to the point of that it's really getting dumbed down by a lot of brands to just really pinpoint to the main ingredient, the main point, why actually people are using L-ascorbic acid, or why they should be using like vitamin C instead of another one. And then it's always the brightening benefit that is being highlighted and outlined, but no one really talks about any of the other benefits that vitamin C has in your day-to-day actually, and why you should be using vitamin C. And also why vitamin C is not equal vitamin C is not equal vitamin C. So there is a lot of different vitamin Cs out there, some active, some inactive, and there's huge difference as well, because not all of them are also like brightening, and there's a huge difference as well among those different forms that are out there. So that's why L-ascorbic acid is still sort of like the queen or the creme de la creme when it comes to like vitamin C. But it is quite tricky. It is tricky to formulate with, to keep it stable. That's why we have it in a dry form. So you can mix it freshly actually at home when you're using it into your Everyday Glow Serum, or also our Aura Essence. You can perfectly use it to turn that Aura Essence, if you enjoy that texture and you enjoy that product, that you can enjoy that and mix it with your vitamin C freshly. But let's talk about some of the other benefits actually that vitamin C has, because vitamin C, while it is brightening your complexion and can help, it's not that great when it comes to, for example, hyperpigmentation. But what it is really good at is like it's a very, very strong antioxidant. So it really helps to kind of keep your skin safe. It helps you to sort of keep the free radicals, basically the damage of the day, which can be anything and everything, like from sort of like sun damage, but also like pollution, also like heating, if you still have the heating on, if it's like as crazy on your side with the weather as it's like on my side. So that can cause, as well as medication, if you're using medication, that can cause sort of free radicals. But it's really the damage of the day, the oxidation as well, like, because as soon as we're exposed to oxygen, it's really like sort of kicking in with the aging process, and that's where vitamin C is a really hero ingredient that can really slow down that process and really support you and protect you from those free radicals that will want to cause havoc on your skin and keep those like at bay. There are a lot of other antioxidants, but the beauty about vitamin C or L-ascorbic acid is that it's really like a long term, sort of, it has been researched for a very, very long term. There's always these other ones popping up here and there, like superfoods, etc., but they just don't have these long-term studies behind them, and that's why L-ascorbic acid is still always like quite up there. But like I said, it's quite tricky to formulate with and a liquid form, and that's why we created the powder form, so you can freshly mix it together. Use a little spoon that it comes with it, put it in the hand of your palm. Like, I can demonstrate that briefly to you how it works. So you're kind of taking the bottle, you're putting a little bit of powder in the palm of your hand. I don't know if you can see that. And then you're using a couple of pumps of the, or a little bit more, because you have to get it actually to dissolve, and then you mix it and you can see how it's sort of dissolving. You can't see anything anymore, really. And then you can use that texture, which is still really nice and light, onto your face to really have that sort of brightening aspect. But like I said, if you really want to, if your key focus is hyperpigmentation, you probably also want to use other ingredients that sort of support vitamin C in terms of like helping out and sort of like brightening hyperpigmentations that you might have. But let's come back to the benefits. So far I've said, yes, it has a brightening aspect. There are probably as well a lot of other like brightening ingredients that are really interesting to use, but also in combination to use with vitamin C. If one of your key problems is really hyperpigmentation and you really want to brighten your skin and get a beautiful even skin tone, which we all want really, then the second one is really the antioxidant benefit. So it's a very strong antioxidant that supports you and keeps those free radicals at bay. And then the third benefit really that hardly anyone is talking about, because another ingredient is probably overshadowing that industry. It's really that it's a collagen builder. So it's really helping the whole collagen synthesis to really support the building of the collagen, but it also helps to actually stop those eating enzymes from breaking down the collagen in your skin. And that's when L-ascorbic acid is really a hero as well in that space. And you might be thinking now, well, hold on, there's like retinol as well. And retinol is actually a really good collagen builder, and it helps you sort of like to protect it and stops the enzymes that are breaking down the collagen and stops those enzymes to break down the collagen. And you're absolutely right. And that's really good marketing in that way. If you're saying like, hold on, there's retinol, and I know retinol is doing that. And that's where you can see marketing is doing a really fantastic job, where it's really educating you and telling you, well, that's what retinol does. And but vitamin C does the same. So that's why it's the beauty as well to use these two products together, that you can use one product during the day and the other one in the evening, because they have these other additional benefits. Or in particular, vitamin C has this additional benefit, and it's not just a brightening tool, and it's probably also not, dare I say it, maybe the best brightening product ingredient out there that you could potentially use. Like I said, if your key problem is really hyperpigmentation and you want dark spots and you want to brighten those ones up. So these are really the three benefits when it comes down to vitamin C. And like I said, what you can do is you can use those two in our sort of like, this way, in our collection to really get that done. You get like a really fresh glow. You really look more fresh as well, and like lighter and more radiant, which, like I said, we all want to kind of achieve at the end of the day, don't we? So I'm just checking if everyone is like on board. So there we are. So what else? So I think the other bit is as well, when it comes to vitamin C, is how much do you actually use? Because there's always this percentage game going on, where a lot of brands are like doing more, and the more the merrier. And with L-ascorbic acid as well, where you can get like 10%, 15%, 5%, I mean, got 20% or whatever is out there in the market. I think I actually stopped looking at one point, because it was turning into a bit of a wild west, and people were just like or brands were just kind of chopping each other. And it really doesn't too much matter how much percentage, because I mean, it does matter, because you do have to have a certain level of L-ascorbic acid that it does something for your skin. But at the end of the day, it's really important that you use it regularly. So if you are just using it once a week. And you're hoping that you get a brighter complexion and it helps you to keep those free radicals at bay and it will actually stopping the collagen breakdown, you're probably not in luck because you're not using it consistently. Because if you have been with me for a while, I always say go maybe a little bit lower with some of these actives, like for example, as well retinol, a little bit lower, but then at least use it consistently throughout on a regular basis that you really see the benefits and you can feel the benefits. And the same is when what is happening with L-ascorbic acid. At one point as well, and that range I think is around 15 to 18%, is your body or your skin can't take on more. It's the same when you are using like a vitamin C tablet. I think most of us do that, like they're popping like a tablet into the water, it dissolves, and then you have that orangey kind of drink and you drink it, and then some are like, oh, maybe I need another one, so I pop another one. But to be honest, you can see it because it gets flushed out on the same day. So vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, so it's not stored in your body at all. So when your body has enough of it, it actually releases it and it flushes it out. And the same is from your skin. Your skin can't take more at one point. At one point, it's really hitting that percentage level, and then it's just enough. And that's really important to understand because I rather you go a little lower with vitamin C because it is such a powerful ingredient and you use it consistently instead of you going high right away, not having used it ever before. And then you get a reaction, you might get an inflammation, and then you actually are afraid of starting to use it again. And that would be too much of a shame because L-ascorbic acid is such a great ingredient, which is really worth having in your regime. And that's where it's always a slower, but consistently is better than kind of getting a really high dosage, maybe getting an inflammation, particular if you have sensitive or hypersensitive skin, and then like not getting the benefits that it really delivers. So I think that is one of the key things. So when there are products that have L-ascorbic acid for 5% or smaller, it's not a bad product. It just really comes down to like consistency, that you're using it consistently. And if you're feeling like, hey, I have graduated that percentage, you can always go then up a level higher and explore that one. But I'd rather you go lower and consistent instead of like high and not using it on a regular basis. But it's really important with all these ingredients. Is it retinol? Is it vitamin C? Is it hyaluronic acid? These are really expensive ingredients, but they are used at a certain level and that you're using them actually regularly, because then only then when you're using them regularly, consistently, and also over a long period and not just like for a week and then you stop, or like a month and then you stop, but for like a consistent period and continuously in your skincare, that's when you really see the benefits and you can feel the benefits. So one benefit I actually forgot to mention about vitamin C is that it's an SPF booster. So like I said, it's a free radical, it's a strong antioxidant, and it protects you as well from like damage that the sun can cause. But it's not, if you say that and you think like, great, I can use it now as a sunscreen, it's not a sunscreen. So if someone says ever to you, oh my God, you can use vitamin C and it's a great sunscreen and you don't need anything else, if you hear that, run. Like, don't just walk and leave the room, just run out of the room, because L-ascorbic acid or any vitamin C, doesn't matter, is not a sunscreen. It does help to boost the effectiveness of your sunscreen. So if you're using a sunscreen and you're using like a vitamin C serum before, that will be really boosting that SPF protection in that way, because it sort of helps with the free radicals. Just to kind of add on onto the antioxidant, onto the benefits, because I think that's also one to kind of watch out. And nowadays it's so important to just say it's not a sunscreen, like you really have to get a proper sunscreen, but it's just boosting the effectiveness of these sunscreens. What else is there to say? So we talked about the percentages, we talked about like using it regularly, and then it comes down to storage as well. Like I said, these ingredients, all of them are like L-ascorbic acid, like hyaluronic acid, retinol. I mean, there are tons more like these ones. They are like really expensive raw materials, and they're quite tricky as well to formulate with, which makes a lot of these products as well quite expensive. But the ideal scenario is as well that they are actually in a container like what we have. We're using dark glass, or we're now starting to play around with actually even darker glass to protect our formulation, to protect our ingredients. So if you see like an L-ascorbic acid in a see-through packaging, I would probably steer away from it unless you want to kind of really store it away and keep it in a dark cupboard, because it is just so unstable. It is a little volatile if you have L-ascorbic acid, and like these ingredients just start to lose then their effectiveness if they are not protected in a sort of a glass that sort of reflects the light again, but the light goes into the bottle and then can actually break down these ingredients, and you kind of use it and you don't see the effects because the effectiveness of these ingredients actually got destroyed in the process because they were in the wrong container. Now you're saying, but these manufacturers and brands should really know about it. Well, yeah, they probably do and they know, but it's just that it is just more attractive if you have a bottle that is see-through, you can see the color, you're drawn, and particularly when brands are doing these really vivid, beautiful and bright colors, you're just drawn towards it, and it's sort of a selling point as well. And it's really hard to then say, oh, it's I don't buy it, because it does look really pretty as well in these bottles and when you see the colors and everything. But if you want to have like vitamin C and L-ascorbic acid, I suggest you kind of go with a brand as well that keeps it in a darker container, so for kind of keeping it safe, so that you actually get the full effectiveness of these ingredients. And even if you are then not having a bathroom cabinet, you're leaving it on in your sort of shelf area on your bathroom edge, and then there is light, it's still protected from UV rays, and it's not going to like break down prematurely. So that one I think is really important as well, just to kind of understand. I think a lot of people don't talk about it. There is a lot of products out there that isn't clear glass, and it does look absolutely gorgeous, and then there are these like lovely fonts on it as well, but it's not ideal for the actives that are in there, because they do break easily down then in that way. So these are sort of like the kind of points I wanted to sort of mention. Like I said at the beginning as well, there is a huge difference, because you have L-ascorbic acid, which is the active form of vitamin C, but then you have the other bucket, which of inactive forms. And the inactive form, basically, which is the ester, has really been created to solve for all the problems that we have with the active form. Because L-ascorbic acid, like I said, is very unstable, it's volatile, it goes off really quickly if it's not in the right container. It has to be developed it has to be formulated at a certain pH level, which is more acid than what we have on our skin. So then that can cause as well a reaction, particularly if you have sensitive skin. That might then you might steer away and don't want to use it at all, which is a shame. Like I said, it's a really good ingredient, but that's why these inactive ester forms exist, where there is a bunch of them. Really, it's the same like with the whole retinoid family, where you have a bunch of like different ester forms of retinoids, and then but they're all sort of like are acting slightly in a different way. And that's the same as well when it comes to vitamin C. Vitamin C is a family, and then you have the active and the inactive way, and the active is sort of like your sort of gold standard, and then you have different sort of other esters underneath that sort of, like I said, compensate then for the disadvantages that one might experience with L-ascorbic acid. And yeah, they solve it. They are more stable. It's easier to develop with them. They are a little bit cheaper, not all of them. They're still quite pricey, but a little bit more cheaper than L-ascorbic acid in buying them. They are also sort of having other aspect as well, because they are not all brightening. So they have also different benefits when it actually comes, when one looks at the benefits, because they're all quite different what they actually deliver. And a lot of them also are not brightening. And it's sort of really complicated when you look at it as a consumer, because you just think vitamin C, and a lot of the brands are just saying, oh, we have vitamin C, but not each vitamin C is equal. So you always need to understand what vitamin C is actually in my bottle, what am I applying onto my skin, and what are the benefits. Does this vitamin C actually have the benefits that I'm looking for, or am I looking actually for something else? Because, like I said, they're not all brightening. They do have different benefits, and some are as well not as gentle maybe when you have sensitive skin, and that's where you always have to kind of look a little bit deeper and understand a little bit more about the ingredient. So you might not sort of buy a product that might not have L-ascorbic acid, but maybe a different ingredient that can also cause an irritation onto your skin, particular when you have like sensitive or ultra sensitive skin. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was sort of like a whistle stop through vitamin C. Like I said, I love it. I have also favorite vitamin C's in the world, in the family of vitamin C. If you would like to learn more about that, just drop me an email, drop me a DM, and happy to get back to you. Or if that's a topic that you would like me to dive more into detail, happy to do that. Let me know. And if there's anything else that I can help with, and you have any questions, then happy to just yeah, you can always drop me a comment, ask me any questions, or like drop me an email. And I wish you a fantastic Sunday. Enjoy the afternoon. I hope it's sunny wherever you are. Apparently, we're going to have another rainstorm coming our way over here. So I'm just going to curl up on the couch, have a cup of tea, and probably watch a nice afternoon movie. And then before starting a new week again tomorrow. So